Hi and welcome back or welcome to my All the Perfume YouTube channel. In this video I'm sharing perfumes I love to wear in fall. I really embrace the change in seasons like a lot of people do, and I particularly find that with my perfumes because no matter how hard I try, there just are some perfumes that are better suited to certain seasons and weathers than others. Now, I'm extra excited with autumn because not only do I really love the season now, especially in the last few years, but it brings me closer to winter, my real favourite fragrance season. There are quite a few perfumes here, and that hasn't always been the case for me, but I've added more to this kind of collection and group in the last year in particular. We've got here a group of designer scents. We've got scents that I think are really good for like a crisp autumn morning, and also scents that have toffee or apple or caramel in them, because I think those notes really suit an autumn vibe. So we've got a group here. I will talk about each of the perfumes individually, the notes and why I love them. The first scent I want to talk about is Covet by Sarah Jessica Parker, and this perfume is just synonymous with fall and with autumn for me. I've been wearing this perfume since it was launched in 2007, and I could talk about it for hours, but I will try and keep it short. I feel it was more SJP's taste than her first perfume, Lovely, was, and I think I'd read that somewhere. This feels just so unusual, and it's also the reason why I will be spraying my scents as I talk about them today. I wasn't going to, and then I was just like, I need to smell Covet. It is September. So going back to 2007, I had a bit of a commute to my workplace, 25 minutes. Not the longest I've had, but I just remember smelling this. And for you Britney fans out there, just blaring out the Blackout album at the same time. It was quite a drive. And you've got here with Covet, lemon, chocolate, lavender and vetiver. And it just gives this really crisp, contrasting fragrance that still comes out as like a singular effect. It blends and smells really good, and it kind of smells green, but not in a leafy way, in just an unusual, quirky kind of juice. I think the bottle suits it so well. Now, I'm not sure if this is my older of my two bottles that I have right now, or the newer one. It's smelling a little bit different, but only a little bit deeper and stronger. Not bad. I'm still going to be wearing this perfume today as my scent of the day. So I love Covet. It just reminds me of those autumns where the weather is a bit cooler, but you're not too cold. It's great. I have to just add full disclosure here. I don't love the lid. I've had problems with a couple of my Covet bottles, like the little cap coming off easily. This kind of catches the dust inside the flower a little bit, and I haven't got the time for dusting. But yeah, they're always really affordable to buy, and you can still buy it now. So this just suits autumn so well. Covet by SJP, a really unusual fragrance, and if you like your lemon and chocolate notes, a really great one to check out. Now, I am so glad that a follower told me how well Intimate Fantasy suited autumn, because it was a game changer for me going back about 4 years. This edition of Britney's Fantasy perfume is so cozy, and you know, with the name Intimate, that is what I should have expected really. A great evening scent, but a lovely day autumn scent too. So in this perfume, you've got lemon again, brown sugar, and also some violet, and a lot of musk. It somehow stays cozy even with that contrasting lemon. And it's sugary and sweet, but just smells so good on the skin. Really comforting and really good. I recommend this one so often, and I love the bottle. I just think the whole thing is really good. And I don't remember it making too much of an impact when it was launched. Maybe the fragrance world community are just so much better now at sharing what they love, but Intimate Fantasy is still available, and it will just have you feeling so cozy and ready for this season ahead. This perfume is Burberry Goddess by Burberry, and it was launched in autumn last year. And so part of my association, I think, is because of the launch time. I think of it as an autumn scent. It's one that I've talked about before as a scent which really grew on me. I found it a little bit generic and designer when it was launched, and then I just really appreciate it now. So it's 3 kinds of vanilla, and that is never a bad thing. You've got your vanilla, vanilla caviar, and vanilla absolute, lavender, ginger, and cacao. And you know, it just smells so good on and really projects. I love this perfume so much. And I was trying to kind of unpick why it is I associate so many designer scents with fall. And I think there's something a little bit back to work, back to school about the season, that a really good, you know, day signature potential designer scent just does. And that is it. This is a good quality perfume. And of course vanilla, but with a kind of clean feel with that lavender, has us cozy, but in the working mode too. So I love to wear Burberry at this time of year now. It has me thinking back to last September and feeling ready for the new season. So it is available for quite a good price now. Burberry Goddess, a really well done perfume. This perfume is Khamrah by Lattafa. Now I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, so forgive me if you know better. But I treated myself to this perfume after it received so much love online. And then I was worried. I thought, I don't want to be disappointed by this. I don't want to smell it and think, what's all the fuss about? But rest assured, this is a beautiful smelling perfume. And part of my worry had been that people have called this an Angel's Share by Kilian dupe. You know, I mean, look at the bottles there and the similarity. So there is something going on in that respect. But Angel's Share I like, but can never really quite remember or get my mind around. This scent in its own right is dates, it's nutmeg, cinnamon, vanilla, just really yummy notes that I want in my life at autumn time. Let's give it a spray. I did actually spray it, I think, last night, and just remembered why I loved it all over again. It's rich, expensive, yummy, it leans masculine, and I feel like I'm smelling like an apple brandy, or it's like a boozy apple smell. So rich, maybe like a pudding. I think I'd compared it to a pudding before, saying that that was the kind of sweetness and gourmand we're into here. But it's boozy and kind of sticky with those dates. I love this. I think this is so well done, and I want to wear this and be complimented on it. It's that good. It might be a little bit strong for my day ahead today, but this one needs a wear this season. So Khamrah by Lattafa sells for a great price, and with the kind of apple that I'm picking up on, with those gourmand notes, I think it's really suited for autumn. I am so glad that I remembered this perfume in time for filming my autumn fall choices, because Toffee Caramel Creme is smelling so good. Now, I received my bottle from the lovely Juliet Rose Perfumes a couple of years ago when I'd seen her brand crop up online, and so many of the creations just looked amazing to me. This is the one I tested and received a full bottle of because I chose it out of all the others. There were some great contenders, but this one, with its chocolate, vanilla, burnt sugar, caramel, lactonic notes, I just couldn't resist. Toffee Caramel Creme. And so it has got this unusual creamy, milky sweetness to it. Now I know that'd be too sweet for some, too gourmand, but I love it. And do you know, above that creaminess is a burnt sugar. Like, that is exactly what I'm smelling. And it's kind of sticky, and it just conjures up that idea of treating yourself to yummy things in autumn, in the colder months, as we get ready for Christmas. Like, in fact, I can imagine smelling this, you know, like on a market stall with, you know, those lovely baked goods that, you know, kind of just make you want to buy and eat them. Now, I remember thinking when I first tested this and I reviewed it, how come I'm receiving so many compliments when I'm always wearing perfume? But this one clearly stood out because I had like 3 compliments that day. Toffee Caramel Creme smells really good, and it lasts and projects so well, clearly. So with these notes, I think it's perfect for autumn. It's not, you know, strong or dark or woody. It's just yummy and cozy and will get you ready for winter. Of course, I had to include my favourite brand, Kayali, and I did think to myself, which perfume would I pick from Kayali to suit autumn? I was trying to make it work, but then I didn't need to work too hard because Vanilla 28 is particularly good for autumn. Now, it is a scent that I reach for a lot when I go to bed. In the winter, do you know what, just all season, it isn't particularly wintry. I would layer it more for winter, but I wear it all year round. But you know, it does suit autumn really well. Look at the colour, it's lovely. And I do remember Kayali having a bit of a, not a relaunch, it's the same scent, but kind of marketing for this one a little bit more last September, which is how I received my lovely big bottle here. In Vanilla 28, and it is one of the original 4 scents from the house, we've got brown sugar, jasmine, patchouli, and you know, I feel like it's the perfume that I'm, dare I say it, kind of influencing people that I meet most with. So my sister left here with a little bottle of it last week. I've had another friend buy herself a bottle after smelling it, and some lovely friends I made over at Parfum de Marly in London, they were going to buy bottles for themselves after smelling on me. So let's get to it. Just so rich, just like the richest, perfect vanilla. And you know what, I mean this in a completely good way, of course, that I feel like this is that young vanilla that you would love as a teen, made strong and luxurious for your adult life. And it lasts so well. My husband always compliments this one. It is one of his favourites. I think anything with vanilla in for him from Kayali wins. So yeah, that's my choice from Kayali, but you know, I do associate it with autumn anyway. Fun to layer, as all the Kayalis are, with each other, with other scents, but just looking at this bottle has me thinking of cosy things, jumpers, apples, getting ready for the season. So yeah, Vanilla 28 I would recommend anyway, any time of year, but it will have you in that cosy vibe for sure. This perfume is Olive from KKW Fragrance, and it was their collaboration with Kendall Jenner, launched 3 years ago, but sadly very soon discontinued afterwards. And how frustrated was I trying to track down these perfumes with them having been discontinued so soon. You know, actually, these perfumes were launched really soon after I'd made a very large KKW fragrance order. So we move, I got hold of it. But it stands apart in this collection of 4 fragrances really, not least in its colour of the juice, but just of course in how it smells as well. This one is rose, rosewater, aldehydes and vetiver. And a bit like with Covet actually, I guess it's kind of green. This one smells how it looks. And I wouldn't know the rose if it wasn't for expecting it in the scent. But this is earthy, aldehydic, and has me thinking of the outdoors for sure. But I don't get lush greens in spring. It's earthy. When I'm smelling this, I'm thinking it's a windy day, it's getting colder, and it leans masculine, but it's smelling good. So I love this scent, and the lack of dent in it doesn't reflect my love of the perfume. It was worth the tracking down of it for me. Do you know, but if I remember rightly, and if you like your KKW fragrance stories and the line, and you're, you know, really waiting for skin to have their perfumes released, it wasn't this one that I was after the most. It was Blue Roan fragrance, but it was Olive that I ended up loving even more. So yeah, I've got my bottle. It's just perfect for this time of year. I don't think I would wear it at any other time really. It just makes you think of the outdoors, absolutely. So if you wanted to smell this, resellers would be your way forward. Just don't pay too much, because I would say this is worth between £20 and £30 really. This next perfume has definitely been neglected in my collection, but it is perfect for autumn. It is Cookies and Kisses by Clinique, and I believe it was Yummy over on Instagram who put me onto this perfume, and I'm glad she did. You've got in here chestnut, pimento and sandalwood, and it basically, to me, smells like chestnuts. It is a really rich fragrance, and what better than chestnuts to get us in an autumnal mood. It's so toasty, and You know, it just really kind of comes back from being too much. It's strong, and I love kind of a quirkiness in my sense, to almost smell a little bit like non-perfume, with the chestnut being that rich. But I could wear this and I think still feel yummy and a little bit feminine at the same time. It's beautiful, and it'd be really gorgeous to layer too. So while it may have been neglected, this is a great autumn scent. I love the colour of it too, and I think Clinique need their full-size bottles from this line, because there are some great ones in this collection. This is Twilight, again from Sarah Jessica Parker. I've mentioned this in my autumn fall roundups for the last few years over on Instagram, and this time it nearly didn't make it, but I thought it's still available, so it should, because again, we've got this really perfect for autumn coloured juice and what looks to me like leaves with the art on the back of the bottle. So I kept it in there, and I do love it. But my question has been, was it a little bit more wintry? And with our notes, we've got in here some mandarin orange, it is sandalwood, and it is pepper too. And I've always just thought that this smells like the scent you get on a coat from your fragrance. Like a lovely musky, cosy, a little bit musty kind of smell, which is an interesting choice for wanting to smell of, but that's what it is, a little bit old, like opening a wardrobe and smelling like an old clove smell. I like it. I think it leans masculine. I think it's a really well done scent from the line, and I was pleased to see that it was still available, so I thought I need to talk about this perfume again, and indeed wear it for myself as well. A beautiful collection, and I wish we would see more of these from the Sarah Jessica Parker line. I know that Lovely is doing really well, and its flankers, and you know, in fact, this technically is a Lovely collection, but I always thought that this series felt a bit set apart. But we need Stash back from SJP. We need more of those kinds of fragrances. So yeah, I know on a recent podcast, she mentioned Stash and said she's working on getting it back. So be that as it may, I think Sarah Jessica Parker is at her best when her fragrances are a little bit quirky. And that's what I feel about Twilight. Really lovely, cosy, musky, musty, a scent to smell on you close by and just feel really kind of autumnal. This perfume is Curatio by Memoize London, and yet another scent that I kind of save for this time of year because I think that is where it is best suited. You've got in here orange, clove, geranium, and vanilla and peach. And when I spray this one, I feel like it's a kind of scent that really draws you in. Those fruits are there and lovely, but they kind of feel overturned by then the clove spiciness. There's something about this that's quite light in the opening, but then becomes stronger as you smell. So I think that's kind of the perfect balance for autumn as well. Something that isn't too heavy, but that you know is there, that perfect bridge between summer and winter. I'm really interested in this house. I think their bottles are beautiful, and there have been a few since adding this to my collection that I would love to try out. So I saved this one for this time of year. I think anything that's got orange but spices certainly has me thinking of autumn. We have more orange and spice with Olympéa Solar by Paco Rabanne. And in fact, in this scent we've got orange peel, orange blossom and mandarin orange in the top, some white flowers in the middle, and then benzoin in the base. And in fact, I have already worn this perfume this season because at the start of September, I just feel that this is the perfect transitional fragrance from summer into autumn. You've got that lovely kind of burst of brightness from the orange, but it goes between that and the spiciness just perfectly, that you're never really smelling one thing or the other. It's so well balanced. I think this would smell really good on a man, even though it is marketed as a women's fragrance. And I used to pair this with Alien Goddess by Mugler. In fact, I layered the scents the other day, but I found them so similar, and I found them both very transitional for the season. But you know, actually this one beat Goddess to the cut today, because this is the one that is more spicy, so feels more autumnal to me. A really good fragrance that if I didn't know better, I would think was a summer scent, but no. I think Olympéa Solar is really great for autumn too. This is Libre by YSL, and sadly another neglected perfume in my collection, but that is what this video is all about, bringing together these autumnal scents, giving them some love and appreciation, ready to wear for this time of year. So with our Libre, it had been on my wish list for so long before I had it join my collection, but it is beautiful. And we've got here more orange, some lavender, vanilla, which is so great for this time of year, and also some blackcurrant too. And I think, even though those notes feel very autumnal to me, it's that thing again of really well done designer fragrance. Smelling somebody who smells good walk past you when you're shopping. I have such kind of out of date references really, because my shopping isn't really shopping anymore. Like, I don't go to browse or look or like find clothes, but back in the days when we did, this is what smelling a counter in a department store smelled like. Like really good quality, rich but clean, a perfect signature scent. So with that lovely orange, with its vanilla, this is a perfect autumnal scent for me. So I'm going to be giving this one a wear this week for sure. There's the Intense version 2, which I would love to add to my collection. But yeah, I love the original Libre, always did, and I think it's great for this time of year. Now, the next and final fragrance that I will share is potentially the least cool thing I will ever talk about, and it is Unbreakable, or otherwise known as Unbreakable Bond by Khloe and Lamar. And I nearly didn't include it, and then I had to, because this to me is the perfect autumnal fragrance. It is so good. I had a bottle of this not long after its launch, whenever it was that I would have been able to have bought it for myself in the UK. And I can remember wearing nice outfits circa 2011, feeling good in that cooler weather, smelling this on myself. And it is bergamot, neroli, cardamom, lily of the valley, and in the base you've got some vetiver and musk. Now, I have an appreciation of bergamot as a note that I didn't have then. And I think back then I thought I was smelling apple, but it still kind of is a little bit like that. It's that lovely fruitiness in the top. It's sort of watery and green. It leans masculine. And then you get the strength of the vetiver in the base, with a little spiciness too. I just love this perfume. I've always loved anything that's unisex, and I will wear anything anytime, but I think I was always interested in things that were marketed as unisex, going back to the beginning of the 2010s. It's brilliant. And of course, the couple who created the perfume are no longer together. So it's, not one that I will be promoted or made again, and so on and so forth. But I just love the fragrance, and, true to my values, I have to include it. And also because it's £2.99 for a bottle this size on the UK's Direct Cosmetics. And I've worked with that site before, but prior to that I was buying from them, and still do, 4 years. So Direct Cosmetics is brilliant. It may not have the cap with it, it may not have the box, but I can guarantee it will be this perfume that you're buying. So yeah, with the price at £2.99, I was extra excited. It took me over the edge, and I knew I had to include Unbreakable in my autumn choices. A really great unisex scent that I think you will agree smells a little bit like apple, with spiciness and woods. So perfect for autumn, even if not the coolest thing in my collection. We've come to the end, and thank you so much for watching my thoughts on these 4 fragrances. Please do let me know what you think of these scents and the perfumes that you love to wear in fall and autumn too. Please do give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and remember to subscribe to my channel. You can find me over on Instagram, TikTok, and also my blog. Thank you again, and I will see you in my next video.